Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another episode of the Business Conversations Uncensored. Now, on this episode, we want to talk about business systems. What are they? What do they do in a business? Is it important to have them in your business? The table is set. The usual culprits are here. Good to have you, gentlemen. Karibuni sana. You know, to a layman, what would you define a business system as?
I would define it as a framework that is used to achieve a desired result within a business.
Yeah, for me, I would actually describe it as a sequence of premeditated thoughts. So you premeditate and you say, we will do this, before this, after this, we will do this, then this will give us this result. So now it's execution of premeditated thoughts. And the discipline is now to keep at what you committed in the thought process.
So really every business should have business systems and processes.
Most businesses have systems. Sometimes they're not maybe very well articulated or defined, but as long as there's a methodology of moving from a particular point to a desired outcome or result, there's a process. Sometimes it's not very well defined, but it does exist in the minds of the people doing whatever activity.
So would you say there are people who have some sort of business system, but it's not intentional?
Yeah, because a business system is a sequence. People are rhythmic. People do the same thing most of the time. Yeah. So you open the door, you clean the counter, you put your things on top, then people come in. When they come in, you greet them first, you give them a seat, like that. It's actually a system, even though they don't know it's a system. So the challenge with systems is when it's broken, when it's inconsistent. So it's like going to a barber shop. So you come, they welcome you, they give you a seat. Before you shave, they give you a newspaper. When it's your turn, you give the newspaper, you get on the seat, they shave you, you get a massage, then you tidy up, you leave. Next time you come, there is no newspaper. After the shave, where is the massage? So then the system is broken.
I'm just thinking about that example and illustration, and I'm wondering, could that be the difference between what we would call somebody who does their business in a juakali style and somebody who's a professional, as we call them? Because sometimes when I go to the garage, I take my car to the garage, I have that kind of a conversation with the mechanic, because I keep telling him, you're neglecting the details. And that is why I would rather take my car to an Asian garage, so to speak, because they have a way they do things. Could that, if you don't define your system, can it inhibit your growth as a business?
It actually can. The reason why it can, think of your favorite coffee house. You go to the coffee house today, the coffee tastes a certain way. You like it. So tomorrow you want to go back to that sensation that you got yesterday. Today, the cup is different and the coffee tastes different. Then you start getting offended because your expectations are being altered. Yeah, we go to places because of a state of mind, but we don't go to places because necessarily of the actual product itself. Tea is not special. How it's served is the product.
I think many of these multinational franchises, especially in the food industry, thrive on a system. and that is why they can be present in many countries. And if you have experienced them in another country, when you travel, you see their brand, you go there with the expectation of the same experience. What they actually provide is a system that gives an expected outcome. If you have our burger, you'll find a consistent taste to it, whether you're in one country or another, because that franchise holder now is following a system that's been established.
So it also helps in terms of growth.
Yes. That's why they can sell the franchise and scale up to many countries. Because if you buy the franchise in one particular country, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You're given a system and you're told, work it as we've defined it, and the outcome will be the same. And we want our customers to come and experience the same quality of food and the environment that we create around the service. The system could also attract customers who would come there, like the example he gave of a barber shop. If you like going to this particular barber shop, he's likely to share that experience with a friend who would frequent that place because they are expecting to experience that particular quality of service. So it can attract customers, maybe even retain some of the older ones as repeat customers because they have gotten used to a particular outcome experience that makes them feel special and valued.
The franchise system was built from the conveyor belt system. And the idea of the conveyor belt is nothing changes. And conveyor belts have pieces. Phase 1, they do the body, the structure. Phase 2, they add the motherboard. Phase 3, they put the cover. Phase 4, they put the screws. Phase 5, they test the microwave. So, the same thing with the business. Front desk needs to just think of phase 1. Then it's given to the next one. So the idea of a conveyor belt, which is borrowed to the idea of a franchise, is dumb it down as much as you can. So that in the case someone changes, it's so dumbed down, for lack of a better word, that a guy can come in and know, I only do screws. And this is how you do them, clockwise, not anti-clockwise.
That advantage is talking about change of personnel. In a conveyor belt system, you're maybe running shifts. So because there's a system, you don't need retraining. When you change the shift and new people come in, it could be even the change of a staff member. They can come and implement that system as it has been defined.
And the product doesn't change. Yes. They maintain the same quality. We've been having conversations about rhythm. Would you say then that systems in a business help you to create and build up a rhythm that the business has that resonates to your target customer? And when you're out of rhythm, they feel like, okay, something changed.
I think it incubates the rhythm because the visionaries at the place of brainstorming and the place of concept creation, they visualize and birth a rhythm. This is how we want people to feel when they come to our premise. How will we achieve that? We'll be giving them tea. When they're walking out, give them sweets. They're not necessarily part of. They're add-ons to the business that make people feel a certain way. Because people keep saying that when they give business to an entity, they're not giving it for its product, they're giving it for what it makes them feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because a mall is a mall, but how come some malls are full? It's experiential.
You know, you say that, and I'm just going back to your kinyozi illustration, because that is something a lot of us can understand. Then you begin to understand why you could have two kinyozis on the same street, but one seems to be thriving. Yeah, same machines, but one is thriving and the other one seems to be struggling here and there because it doesn't have well-articulated systems that they follow. Yeah.
Definitely. I think even a system also helps reduce waste. Waste of resources, and there are various resources that can be squandered and wasted because there's no system. A lot of the work is trial and error. And that does have a bearing on the cost of operations in a business.
Okay. So let's dig in and find out what are some of these key systems. I know there may be many, but what would you say are the key systems when we look at businesses that every business at least needs to have?
Next time on Clean Money Monday.
It's a piece of money. So, because now remember the conveyor belt, there are phases.
Yeah.
So sales and marketing, there is admin, there is HR, there is finance.
Let's dig in a bit on this finance, because I find it to be very interesting.
Having a financial system helps you do things like projections and budgeting, and that you can optimize resources better. You can even know when you are investing at an optimum point, because you've got some system that can capture data, financial data, and then the management can analyze that and make some sense out of it. When there is no system, then there's a lot of possibility of error, theft, mismanagement, losses, and even maybe sometimes even breaking the law when it comes to matters finance to do with taxation and compliance.
This is Clean Money TV.